Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. Hi, Geoff. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having me. Excited to be here as always.
For sure. So I'm quite excited to chat about your software today. So for those of you that are joining us, we're going to be chatting about the SHARC software. And we've chatted to Geoff before about SHARC and how it developed and where it comes from. But we'll touch on some of those things again today. And then we're also going to be speaking about some of the updates and changes that have been made over the last year or so since we've last spoken to you. So hi, welcome for joining us. If you're joining us live, let us know who you are, where you're watching from. And if you're using SHARC software, if you're using a different software, let us know. We're here to chat with you guys, so share any questions or comments that you have, and Geoff will be able to answer those for you or show you. We can do a screen share a little bit later and go through the platform. So yeah, this is for you guys. So let us know what you need and what you want us to chat about, and that's where the conversation will go. So Geoff, tell us a little bit about SHARC and why you created this software.
So SHARC evolved some 10 years ago now, or more than that, I think, when my wife started her canine rehabilitation centre, and there wasn't any software out there that fitted the bill in order to log all the details and client records, patient records, treatment notes, etc. that obviously we needed. At the time, I was in the software industry, so I was a software developer. And so it was the natural thing to do was to develop some software for her to run her business. So following on from that, I thought, well, if we need it, so would many other centres, I assumed. So let's make it more configurable, more generic. And so I further developed it and then started to market it. And it really snowballed on from there. So the first edition of SHARC was like a download install. And then we went to the cloud-based version some years later that we see today. And that's when it's really sort of taken off, and that's what people want, to be able to access it from anywhere, on any device, at any time. And that's what SHARC provides.
I love that. I can't believe that it's been like 10 years. Wow.
Yeah, I think over 10 years now. So it's yeah, it started off quite slow, but there's new additions going in quite frequently now. So lots going on.
So if you guys are just joining us, welcome. It's really great to have you. I have Geoff from SHARC Software. So originally SHARC was developed for hydrotherapy centers, but we've expanded that to include physiotherapy and some other features as well. So who is the software for at the moment? Who's it perfect for?
So we have all sorts of therapists on board with SHARC now, all over the world, in fact. So we've got equine centres, canine hydrotherapists, physios, holistic therapy practices, a real mixture of treatments out there that can use SHARC. SHARC, as I say, is pretty configurable now, so you can use it to fit your business and record the information you wish to see in there, to tailor it to what you need. So it's really out there for any animal rehabilitation outfit in any shape or form. It's evolved to that point now. As I say, it's evolved not only in the UK. The UK is still our biggest client base, but we now have clients in South Africa, USA, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, Singapore. So the list goes on. So it's really snowballed, as I say, in the last few years. So it's quite exciting.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So if you guys didn't catch that, if you're just joining us, I see we have a few more people that have come online. Hi and welcome. So the two highlights that I've taken so far is that one, you can access it from any device and it's cloud-based, and two, that it's configurable. So whatever kind of veterinary rehabilitation you're doing, you'll be able to configure it to your practice. Can you expand a little bit on that configurability that you just mentioned? How does that work? What does that look like? How do you change what you're using and seeing?
Okay, so if we start from the appointment booking side of SHARC, you can tailor up to 10 separate diaries within SHARC to obviously record your bookings. So a typical canine hydro centre, might have the pool, the treadmill, they might have a physio on board. So you can have different diaries and booking in the clients into the different slots within the calendars. On top of that, people use it in different ways. So some centres may have calendars for each member of staff. So you can then tailor those diaries to be called whatever you wish them to be called, and book your clients in appropriately. So you can configure the calendar to record all your bookings, and obviously on the back of that, you've got your SMS and email appointment reminders that are very beneficial in keeping the no-shows at bay, and obviously saving money. So yeah, and on top of that, I think the main event really in SHARC these days is the treatment configuration of the notes. So you can create as many treatment note templates as you wish, and call all the fields within that template whatever you wish to record. As I say, you can have as many as you like. So if you have you'd like a treatment template for your physio, to your pool, to your treadmill, to whatever modality you wish to record treatment notes for, you can configure that within SHARC, and it's very generic in some respects. In terms of how you do that, and it's very, very easy to do. So yeah, that's one of the key features in SHARC I think people really like. So yeah, we can obviously show you that later on, but I think that's one of the real benefits now to make it configurable for any type of business.
I really, really like that. So do you have treatment templates that you've created that you found like this is kind of the basics? So if someone joins SHARC, they can start with that, and then they'll want to create their own templates, and they can do that.
Absolutely. As soon as you create your account with SHARC, there's a default template that is created. And you can then use that to change it to whatever you wish, or you can copy it. So you can take a clone of it and change it slightly. So the key information for argument's sake between a treadmill and a pool might be similar, but you might want to add fields in for the treadmill speed, the treadmill water height, stuff like that you wouldn't want to record for the pool. So SHARC has this copy template ability, so you don't have to create all the fields all over again. You can take one template, clone it, and then just tailor it to the next modality that you want to create a template for. So it's very, very easy. You can change all the field sizes to different sizes, whether they're yes, no fields, or just want to enter text or numbers. So as I say, it's come on leaps and bounds since the old days in terms of the treatment notes. It was very static in the past, and now it's very, very configurable.
Oh, I love that. Because I always change templates. I always have to make it my own. So that's really awesome. Guys, if you have any questions on what is available in SHARC, what it can do and can't do, and what's part of the program, let us know. Pop them in the comments. Yeah. Geoff, can you hear me clearly? Because I'm getting a huge echo.
You are going quiet and then louder. So.
Okay, hold on. Let me plug in my see if that helps. I'm not sure what's going on today. Give me 1 second. And then, all right, how does that sound? That a bit better?
Sounds better. Yeah, can hear you now.
Okay, great. All right, so you guys are also hearing some feedback on the audio. Hopefully this is better. Let me know. Okay, so what are some of the changes and updates that you've made to SHARC over the last year or so?
So recently we've introduced the vet consent form automation. So SHARC has a facility where it can remind you where your vet consent needs renewing. So for ongoing patients, typically you might want to renew your vet consent every 6 months or whatever your time period is, and again that's configurable. And so with all the information that SHARC holds, it was a natural progression to populate a veterinary consent form, the client details, the veterinary details that are already in SHARC, etc. So that's been very well received by the user community. So that's one of the latest additions, and that gets exported to a PDF, so you can email it to the vets, to your clients to sign, etc. So that's one addition. Other additions have been an alert feature within SHARC, so you can set alerts at a patient level or a client level, i.e. the owner level. So in your dashboards and your calendar, as soon as you put an appointment in, if you've set an alert for a specific dog, for example, that you want to flag up that it can be aggressive, so you might not want to put other dogs alongside it in the practice at the same time, you can set that as well. So that's another feature that's been requested. That we've now developed and deployed. Just looking down my list, we've added more color code into the calendar. So before you could color code your individual diaries, but now you can color code your equipment being booked. So for example, like I said before, if you had your diaries set out in terms of member of staff, you can see quickly and easily across who's got the pool booked out, because you can color code the pool one color, your treadmill different color, your physio suite might be another color. So you can say configure that calendar to work however you work your practice in terms of your bookings. So that's another addition. The block payment side and tracking. So SHARC has the ability to track patients that are on blocks. So I would say a block of 10 sessions, for example. So we've extended that feature to have a patient be able to be assigned to more than one block. So they might have a block of sessions booked in for the pool and a block of sessions for the physio. Previously, you could only have a dog on a block at a time, but now you can have multiple blocks per patient. So that's another addition. And on top of that, you can now assign a block of sessions if you've got multiple dogs over those dogs. So each dog can start winding down the sessions that they've used. So we've extended that functionality a little bit more now in terms of the block booking feature, which is a big feature within SHARC, and every practice seems to have that facility for clients to pay for multiple sessions at a time with perhaps a discount, etc. So that's a further addition. We've added some more configuration to email reminders, so you can include or exclude the service that you've booked them in for, and additionally the price. So the emails they receive, you might not want those pieces of information on there. So that was another request that we've added. Yeah, lots. List goes on. So I could probably go on for the next half an hour, but
that's really exciting. So I feel like when you talk about the booking and the different ways that you can make it easier and simpler, like I wonder if our booking systems are just far too complicated. Lisa Mason described it as the person managing your diary needs to be really good at playing Tetris, because they've got to like optimally fit in all these odd different time slots and match the people and match the equipment, and it can just be really complicated. So if you guys are joining us for this chat, welcome. This is for you. Ask your questions. So share with us what you want to know about SHARC. Are there features that you want to know more about, understand more? We are going to do a screen share and go through some of them. So if there's something specific you want to see, let us know so we can show you. And then I think the other thing that I'm really interested in is if you're running a mobile practice and you're traveling, then obviously being able to access the software from different devices, mobile devices, or an iPad, for example, is really valuable. But it's cloud-based. Can you access it offline? Can you, if there's no reception, no Wi-Fi, can you still access the software?
You do need an internet connection. So whether that's Wi-Fi or 4G, it works perfectly well over 4G. Soon to be everywhere, it'll be 5G, which will be even faster. But you do need an internet connection. It is cloud-based and it does rely on that. There's no offline facility for it. But I think in this day and age, Wi-Fi and 4G and 5G is pretty much everywhere these days, so hopefully that won't be too much of an issue. I haven't really had anyone not use SHARC for that reason, or use it and then find it a struggle because they're traveling and they haven't got connection. I've not had that scenario yet, but as I say, I think the days of trying to get a signal somewhere are slowly depreciating with the advances of the technology around the globe.
Yeah, definitely. If you're treating horses, it's a thing. So, but it's something that you can get around, right? Because, like you say, we're so reliant on our internet connection, on our reception, that there's always a way to get around it. And if we can't immediately make notes and access the software, then you schedule some time at a rest stop somewhere where you can do that. So there's always a way around that. I just wanted to put that question out there. So guys, if you have any questions, then share them now. Now is the time. Geoff, do you want to share? Let's share your screen and go through the software and have a look at what it looks like, how it feels, what some of the features are, and answer any questions that come through on how specific things work. So yeah, let's start at the beginning. Is this the first screen you see if you log in?
Okay, yes, this is the dashboard. So here you can see all your appointments for the day that you've got booked in. So here you can see straight away at the top, the first appointment has this warning symbol on there, and this is the alert system that I was talking about. So if we click on that, you can see what the alert is. And again, when we go into the calendar, you'll see that the appointments are outlined in red that have those alerts as well. So the dashboard really works in terms of keeping you up to date with your record keeping, and that is the sole purpose of it. So here on the right hand side, you can see that you've got your treatment recorded and payment recorded, which are the two main things to do for a client really when they come in. So this aids in that facilitation of making sure that at the end of the day, you can quickly flick down the list and say anything that's not gone green where you haven't added it, you can quickly add it in. And by clicking these buttons, we'll take you to the treatment records and the payments as well. So for example, if we wanted to put in a payment for the first record, we simply add payment. The purchase basket already is populated, governed from what the booking was, and then you can simply take the payment, click your payment type, and then you can put that payment through, and it's as simple as that. And so when we go back to the dashboard, you can see that the payment recorded has gone green, indicating that that's all done. So it's a really good visual indication of anything that's been really missed. And on top of that, at the bottom, if anything does get missed or is left to the next day, it will fall into these buckets. So treatment's not recorded and payment's not recorded. So it's a constant reminder to you that you haven't done something that you really should do. And again, you can configure how you want those reminders at the bottom there to work for you, whether you want to display treatments not recorded over different periods of time or whatever the case may be, and the same for payments. Again, you can flick from through the calendar via the dashboard, so you can go to tomorrow, next day. I haven't got much booked in on this test system, but you can go day by day and just look at what you've got on the
I'm still seeing the dashboard. Have you changed your screen?
No, I'm still on the dashboard.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. So at the bottom here, we've got two other options. So veterinary consent renewals. So this is what I was talking about, a new feature we've built in. So if I click on that, you can see that it's indicating that the last received veterinary consent form was in last August, and it's a reminder that you should be really getting a renewal in place. So we've got a create veterinary consent form button here, and this is the new feature. So you can quickly click that, and behind the scenes it's creating the PDF, and then hopefully, if all goes well, you can see your veterinary consent form. So here is something then you can fire off to the clients, to the vets, just to say, this is where we are, is it still the same, and get that approval for the next batch of sessions. So that's the latest feature, and it's obviously pre-populated with all the information we've currently got in SHARC, so it will save a lot of time to do that. You can also print out blank ones as well that aren't pre-populated. You can do that via the reports menu. So there's that option as well. So it can work for you in getting the initial veterinary consent form, or the repeat renewals that you so wish. And then at the bottom there, the Veterinary Reports Due. This is another feature in SHARC where you can set it up to remind you to report back to the referring vet. So you might want to have indication where, after an initial consultation, for example, you would want to potentially report back to the vet with what your treatment plan is, etc. And again, you can set it, say, for argument's sake, every 10 sessions. You might also want to report back to the vet as the progress. So you can configure SHARC to remind you at a patient level what you need to do. So again, it's all designed to keep you on top of your record keeping and make life as simple as possible for you.
That's really helpful to kind of take the thinking out of it, and you don't have to sit and go, what do I need to do now? You can come on there and immediately see what needs to happen and get it done. That's really helpful.
Yeah, it would take you a long time to filter through all your clients, thinking who have I sent a report to, who needs a report, etc. It's all there, right on the dashboard for you to see. So again, from the dashboard, you can go into a client file just by clicking the name, and again for the patients as well. And here you can see the blocks. So these are patients that are on a block of sessions. So you can see this is block 5 of 10, 5 of 10 again, and then the first 1 of 10. So again, it's all information to keep you, help you keep track of where you are with each client. And particularly important for those on blocks, as you can easily start giving away a few if you're not totally on top of where you are. So that's the dashboard. Any questions on that before I move on?
Yeah, guys, what do you want to see specifically? I think that was really clear and thorough of what is happening here. So let's see what else you've got for us. Okay,
so if we go onto the calendar itself, so you can look at your day view, your week view, your month view, and book in your appointments appropriately, depending on whatever view you're in. So here we've got it set out for your pool, treadmill, physio suite, and some notes. So you might want to add in some notes for the calendar. For example, on that day, you might have people that want a specific time that might be already booked. So you can add a note in there to say, if this appointment becomes free, so-and-so would like it. So you can use it for whatever you wish. Again, you can have up to 10, as I say, 10 different calendars here. And it's very easy to book a client in. Simply click on the time slot. You choose your client. The patient will automatically populate or give you a list if there's more than one dog, say, under the same owner, and then you book in what equipment it is and the service.
Let me just stop you quickly, because I haven't changed screens. I'm still seeing exactly the same thing. So I don't know if we're having a share error. Are you on the same browser? Because we're only sharing one Chrome tab, right?
Yeah, so can you see the calendar now? Can you see?
No, I'm still on the dashboard.
That's very strange. Can you see it now? I've just refreshed it.
No, can you try redo your share so that we can see if we can get the,
Okay. So I'll share.
Sorry about that, guys, but that's how it goes, right? My audio is acting up today for some strange reason. Let us know what you guys want to see, what features you're interested in, and if you're using the software, or if you're interested in using the software. So there we go. I've got the calendar there now.
Can you see that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I think that was a Facebook Live glitch. Okay, so here's the calendar. As I say, here's your different diaries, so your pool, treadmill, physio, and all the appointments booked in for the day for that. You can also add notes in there, so you can book out time slots for lunch, for example, or whatever your case may be. This appointment here for Mia Harwood, this is the alert that I was saying. This, as well as appearing on the dashboard, it also appears on the calendar, so it's always there to remind you when you book in the patient within the booking form. It will come up as well straight away within this form at the bottom there, so you can see straight away what the alert is. Also you can configure for your different calendars a default time slot. So if we click on 9 o'clock, for example, to add in a booking, you'll see the end time will automatically default to 9:45. So you can configure how long each session is for each diary. So your treadmill sessions might be shorter than your pool to your physio, for example. So instead of having to select end times all the time, it will automatically populate that for you. And what I was showing you previously that you couldn't see was just adding in an appointment. So you can select your client there. The patient will automatically populate if there's only one. I'll say if there's more than one, it will list them, and then you can book in your modality in your service that you're booking them in for, and then you can save that away. You've also got a repeat function as well, so if a client wants the same slot every week for the next 10 weeks, you can put that in as well, but of course it will tell you if there's any clashes. Another option is you can mark them as missed as well. So you might want to put a missed reason why the client hasn't shown up, and ticking that will then feed through to another screen where you can add a charge to the client if that's what you wish to do. So it's very simple. Yeah, I mean, you can cycle through the days as you would at any other calendar, go to a specific day. So yeah, that is the booking form. It's as simple as we can make it without taking away functionality. So
it really looks like it's set up to save you time. So I know that sometimes when we're using software, it can actually be quite time consuming. So the goal is always to, be spending less time, but I've definitely found with some things, it takes time to navigate, to load the pages, to input all the stuff. This really looks like it's very quick and efficient. So yeah. I like that.
Yeah, as I say, we've built SHARC to be as seamless as possible, really. So that, as I say, the entering of information is as slick as possible. We know how busy outfits are. Some can have up to 30 appointments a day, and putting all this information into SHARC can be time consuming. So, as I say, that's where the dashboard comes in, into entering treatment notes, payments. It's there. It's very slick. You can just add them straight in without too much fuss. The other, I won't go too much into clients. That's obviously listing all your clients. You go into each client record, add in additional contacts, listing all the patients, any appointments booked in, and their accounts as well. So it's got an account feature where your payments are recorded, so you can see if anybody owes you money. And then you can run off some statements and insurance invoices if that's the case as well. So it's got all the kind of a ledger facility that you'd expect to keep track. On top of that, there's lots of reports that will give you your financial information as well, so on a daily, monthly, yearly basis, and then go into more detail if you have sales tax added to your account or whatever the case may be. I think another good feature is the water testing, so you can record all your water testing for those that have pools and treadmills. So you can add these in by day, and you can add as many tests in per day as you wish. So here's an example where we've got 2 tests added in. So I'll say I want to do a test in the morning, test at noon, and then a test in the afternoon as a minimum standard, I should think. So you can record your information depending on what you operate. So whether you could operate chlorine or your bromine or whatever the case may be. So we've hopefully catered for all scenarios. So I haven't had any requests lately to update this with anything else. So I think at the moment it's catering for all types of water testing. So yeah, we've got
I think that's quite brilliant, because it also helps for if you have more than one person that's testing, then it's quite a nice way to be able to say, this is what we do, this is what we test, this is the protocol, and this is the progression through the day. So it's an easy way to have that seamless when there are different people doing the testing through the day, to be able to check back on what your team did if you're overseeing the team, and to make sure that it's being done, that it doesn't get left out or left behind. Is there a reminder or alert if you run late doing your tests?
There isn't. I think different businesses will test in different ways, and I'm not sure. It'll probably be a good thing to have a daily reminder, maybe, that if you haven't done any water testing. But I think really, I mean, a good outfit would be water testing all the time. It's a regulatory requirement to do so, and so I think I think they'd be foolish not to be testing the water, because it could become issues with patients in the pool, which would not be good for business. So I think water testing is one of those things that everyone is on top of, really, and should be on top of.
I really love that. Do you guys have any questions? We have a few more people that have joined us live in the meantime. Welcome and thank you. We're chatting about the SHARC software, which is quite integratable into whatever practice you're running. So Geoff is walking us through how those features work. If there are any specific things you want to know about, any features you want to know about, let us know so that we can show you. Otherwise, what else do you have to show us here?
So
you can add photos and videos.
Yeah, you can add photos and videos. So here you can see on the dashboard as well, if you've got a photo assigned to a patient, there's a little camera icon that appears, so you can quickly pull up the picture if you wish to see. Also on the dashboard, I didn't mention was these notes as well. So you can quickly and easily click this button here, and this will show you your previous notes entered. I haven't got anything there as a typical example, but anything you basically will show you your last treatment notes entered for the client, so you can quickly and easily see what you did last time, in order to make sure you're doing the same kind of treatment this time. And you can also print out the whole day's treatment notes from the last sessions of each client. So this button here will print out, as I say, all the treatment notes for each patient. So you could take that into your treadmill room or your pool and have that in the room, so you can quickly and easily see as each patient arrives what the treatment plan is. Especially useful for if you've got different staff operating on different days, so they might not have seen the patient previously, and they can obviously pull up those notes very, very quickly to see what the last member of staff did.
I love that. I would love to see what the veterinary reports look like. If you can hear that, I'm getting a lot of feedback in. Yep, okay, that's better. So how do the veterinary reports work? Does it bring the information in from, say, your last 6 treatments? That's the period of time you want to report back on. Do you want to show us?
Yeah, so you can. So here's a couple of treatment notes entered for this client here, Mia. I'm not sure I've got much in there. As I say, this is a test system. I didn't want to display live data, obviously, for obvious reasons. So here there's some information been entered into the observation field, but you can create a report. So you can say, okay, let me see all sessions, or just a specific date range, or just this session, for example. And this will just provide a report of this treatment that you've added in here. So you can print, and this will then display this, and you can print it out and save it as a PDF if you so wish. So it's very easy to pull up the treatment notes and use those if you so wish to report back to the vet as information. on the treatment notes, we want to dive into those whilst we're here. So you've got this option when you add a new treatment. So if we click Add Treatment, we'll select the template. So we'll say Paul, and you can have this copy last entry feature. So instead of having to enter in typical information over and over again, you can click the copy last entry, and that will pre-populate if there was anything in there for the patient for their previous notes. So then you can just pull up those notes and just tailor them for the session you've currently got in hand. And again, all designed to, you know, alleviate the time-consuming aspect of entering treatment notes. So you know, it's there to be used effectively. So while we're on the treatment notes, I'd like to go into just briefly the settings and how you configure those treatment templates. I think it'd be a poignant time just to dive in there quickly.
Oh,
so
definitely. Before you start, though, we have a comment from Karen Buckingham, and she just wants to say SHARC is amazing and has been a real game changer for them. Also, Geoff is so helpful. Right back in the pool again. Bye, Karen. Thanks for hopping on with us.
That's really nice to hear. It's always good to have feedback. So yeah, excellent. Okay, so here is the area where you configure your treatment notes. So here you can see there's a default template. That's what ships with SHARC when you create your account. And then you've got a I've created a pool one and a treadmill one. So if we went into the pool template, these are the fields that you saw on the treatment notes screen. And again, you can just click into these and change the names of them, call them whatever you want. You can add new fields, so you can add a new field in there. So if we wanted to add, I don't know, anything, it really doesn't matter what you call it. And then also you can move the fields in different order, and that will dictate how it's displayed across the screen and down the screen. So you can drag and drop these to your heart's content as to where you want them placed. And then that will obviously be reflected when you enter the treatment notes themselves. You can, as I say, dictate how wide or large you want those fields to be, just from changing the width. And again, there's the type of field, whether you want text, numbers, or a yes/no flag, depending on what your data is that you wish to capture. So it's very easy, and one of the real key benefits is if you have, for example, a patient that's on that does water treadmill and does physio, and you've got a physio template set up as well. When you click in from the dashboard to add those treatment notes in, it will automatically display the correct template. So you can assign the template to the piece of equipment that you wish that template to be displayed for. So when we click on water treadmill, for example, all being well, it will display our treadmill template, as you can see at the top. It does allow you to change that if you so wish. And so we'll then display all the fields associated to that template: treadmill speed, water level, or whatever you have set up. So again, it's all there to be as slick and as quick and efficient as we can possibly make it. So going back to the treatment templates, I say you can clone as many of these as you wish, or create one from scratch. So if you wanted to create a new template, simply click Create Template, give it a name, click Save, and then you can start adding all your fields in there. And also, as I say, you can copy a template. So if we wanted a physio template created, for example, we can say Copy Template, base it on the default or the pool template, and then we can just tailor that to the physio stuff. So you can click Copy Template, and then you can call it whatever you wish. Call it physio. Then we can start, changing the fields that we want to capture. So yeah, it's very easy to do. And so we've very easily now just created a physio template. We might want to say, actually, let's take away, we don't need a flotation aid, obviously, so we can remove that, and change the text of each field as to what you want. So yeah, without harping on too much, that is how you do it. It's very, very straightforward, and it's been a great asset to SHARC and something that people have really enjoyed since its delivery. So yeah, any questions?
It really looks fantastic. If you guys have any questions, now is your time. We've run out of time, so we're going to be logging off in a moment. I just want to give you another second. If you want to ask something, ask it. Oh, I'm gonna. There we go. Now's your chance to ask. So Geoff is here with us. Geoff, I have one more question. It seems like the software is it just looks so user-friendly and simple, but do you find that people need a little bit of training and introduction and just showing around the platform to understand what they are able to do, what the capabilities are, or do they just get in there and fly?
Yeah, as soon as you sign up to an account with SHARC, we send an email with a small user guide that's on key aspects like configuring the treatment notes, some block booking information, payments, etc. So we send that out, and we also offer the free training and online training as well. So if that's something you wish to take up, then we can schedule that in at a convenient time. But in all honesty, people pick SHARC up and they run with it, and we don't have too many people saying, I'm really struggling, can we have some online help? I honestly don't get that very often. So it's, I guess, you know, a good thing for the software to be intuitive as possible. So people don't want to be reading reams and reams of user guides and things like that. It should be really, you know, obvious or straightforward and guide you through how you operate the system, and that's exactly how we've tried to develop SHARC to facilitate that.
No, I think you're right. It is so important. Like I love that you have the opportunity to do some training and to help them through the platform initially, but it should be intuitive. It should be simple. Otherwise, we end up spending so much time just trying to say, oh, how do I do that? How do I input this information? That it becomes inefficient, right? Then we're spending too much time just inputting information or trying to achieve what we're setting out to achieve instead of just getting in there, getting it done, and walking away. Needs to be easy to remember as well, so that it becomes second nature and we can just do it without thinking, without so that we stay focused on our patients and in the moment instead of trying to figure out the software in front of us. And that's so important in our industry because most of us are not tech savvy. You know, most of us are not on our computers or working with technology all the time. So I really, really love that. To those of you that have joined us today, thank you so much. If you have any questions, any follow-up questions, feel free to post them in the comments and we will answer them for you. Or reach out to Geoff directly, reach out to SHARC. Go try them out. They have a free trial. You're still running your free trial, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's a 30-day free trial, and we're currently still offering the first 3 months of any subscription at 50% discount. So that's an offer that's been ongoing for some time and one we will be continuing with. So
you can really try it for yourself, try it in your practice, see if it fits and if it works for you before making that full financial commitment, which just like employing another person in your practice, it always seems like when you take that leap and you invest in that extra thing, it frees up so much in your life and in your time and in your business that your business flies. So it just pays for itself so quickly. So Geoff, thank you so much for joining us. You guys, thank you for joining us. We will see you again soon. Our Veterinary Hub Summit qualifier group is opening on the 1st of October. And it's going to be a little Facebook group that's open to everyone where we are going to be having discussions and conversations around research, around relevant topics to us, to our industry. I'm really excited about it. It's there for us to engage and chat and connect. So keep your eyes open. The 1st of October, that is opening. Jump right in and we look forward to it. So thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you for having me.